This is Earth now, with 7,442,000,000 people living on it. We're the most dominant, fast-growing species the world has ever seen. In today's video, we'll be asking the question, what's in store for humanity in the next 1,000 years? Depending on who you ask, the 31st century will either be one of two extremes, really hot or really cold. Many studies conducted in the last 20 years show two possible outcomes for the world's climate in the next 1,000 years. Some solar test outcomes show that we could be heading back to Ice Age conditions by as early as 2500, whereas other studies show that the consumption of fossil fuels and other non-renewable energy sources will render the planet non-hospitable by as early as 2200. However, we can certainly say the future could hold some extreme climates for us, whether we're to blame or not. Current technological success of humanity, from events like the Industrial Revolution to the electronic boom in the early 2000s, we can say with certainty that technology has a lot to offer for the future. If Moore's law is proven true, technological advancement could follow a trend with growth rates as an exponential curve, propelling us swiftly down the technological tunnel. This means we're only at the beginning of our journey. Theoretical physicist Michio Kaku predicts due to Moore's law that in a mere 100 years we'll have progressed from a Type 0 civilization to a Type 1 civilization, as outlined on the Kardashev scale. This would mean we have the ability to harness the full power potential of the Earth and further renewable energy sources such as nuclear fission, solar and tidal to fuel all of our needs. This could even provide the potential to use our planet's power to manipulate its own climate. If this is true, humanity would have the capability to set up lunar and Martian communities through adapting the planet's climate and ecosystem through terraforming. We could even be travelling between planets and moons on a regular occurrence, thus greatly reducing the risk of a mass extinction of the human race. This spreading of life across multiple planetary locations in the solar system is known as panspermia. One theory states that this is how life came to be on our own planet. As we venture into space, one topic becomes apparent. Who would govern the new states on other planets and moons? One proposed idea is that we let them run themselves, free from all laws governed by the state of departure and international laws. This would allow them to start as their own state and grow naturally as a sibling community of Earth. As of now, this is a highly contested topic. As diverging groups of civilization span across the solar system, and with ever-changing relations between countries on Earth, language could change considerably. With languages such as Latin dying around 450 AD, it's fairly safe to assume that languages today could be fairly unrecognisable, or even non-existent by 3018. As humans diverge and repopulate the planet generation by generation, population numbers are set to increase from 7.44 billion today to a staggering 9.8 billion by 2050. One hurdle mankind could face in the near future, which is directly linked with the increase in the world's population, is food supplies for the extra predicted 2 billion inhabitants of Earth. Currently, right now, in 2018, 850 million people are undernourished. Statistically, for every 9 people on Earth, one person doesn't have enough food. This is a 2,750% increase from the previous year, where 30 million people were undernourished. Linking to this, an estimated 770 million people don't have access to clean drinking water, and another 1.8 billion people don't have access to sanitary conditions. Depending on how we act now, and onwards from this point, determines how we will reduce these numbers to allow more people the mere essentials they need. Depending on your view of the future, imagine us as a species thriving and growing with our knowledge, spawning the arrival of artificial general intelligence, genetic modifications, and being a space-faring civilization. By the year 3018, we could have an incredible amount accomplished, and some staggering achievements could happen, such as the first trillionaire, the cure for many diseases, and the end of world hunger, famine and thirst. Or, on the contrary, we could be heading down a dystopian future, with our peak being in the early 2100s, with sights on nuclear Armageddon, incurable diseases, pandemics, and natural disasters. On January 25th, 2018, The current time on the Doomsday Clock was set to 2 minutes away from midnight, 30 seconds closer than the previous year. On the Doomsday Clock, midnight is the point in which apocalypse has occurred, so to be 2 minutes away isn't the best position to be in, especially when you take into consideration at the height of the Cold War, the clock was at 7 minutes to midnight. It's impossible to predict what could happen for certain in the next 1,000 years. But it really depends on how we act now and onwards from this point that determines the situation the human race will be in by the year 3018.